Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Katie, and today we are going through every single book on my physical TBR. This might take a long time. Alright, so let's go ahead and have some fun. So before this video starts, go ahead and put your guesses down below at how many books are on my physical TBR. I have two bookshelves here. I have a small pile downstairs, a small little shelf in my bedroom, and I have two carts here. Are they TBR carts or are they books that I've already read? If you've seen previous videos, you may know. But put down your guesses down there and we'll see who the closest is. We'll see. Alright, so I am just going to get started. So I already filmed a little bit downstairs. I am going to go through, everything. So I'm going to start with my signed books because that one's going to be the toughest one to figure out because I've read the majority, but there are still quite a few books on that shelf unit that I have not read yet. Okay, so these are just from the top shelf up there. I've read all of those, so go me. All right, but the ones that I have not read, hold on, we'll start with these because these are the small guys and they're very slippery. Almost lost one. So these are all my love inspired ones. I've won these over the past like year and a half, but I have a bunch of love inspired. I'm probably going to take the summer and just have fun reading them. So I have a bunch that I have not read yet. So I have Mistaken Twin Target by Jenna Knight. Christmas Forest Ambush by Carrie Johnson. Tunnel Creek Ambush by Carrie Johnson. A few of these are repeat authors, which is nice. Texas Smokescreen by Jessica R. Patch. Dead Run by Jody Bailey. And I think all these were love inspired for the most part. And the last love inspired, or the suspense line. Last suspense one is Warning Signs by Katie Lee. These are by Tina Radcliffe. I've either been on her launch teams, which I did share her graphics and stuff. I've gotten a few from Just Read Tours. I do tours through them. So I still have read them. So I really need to because I do want to. I love a good cowboy story. So we have, all these are by Tina Radcliffe, so I don't have to repeat the author name. The Cowboy Bargain. The Baby Inheritance, which I actually did start this. I just haven't finished it yet. The Cowgirl's Sacrifice. That one looks really good. The Holiday Prayer. And some of these are part of a series, so I definitely want to read them in order. Ready to Trust. And Finding the Road Home. So those are all of the love-inspired books that I have not read yet. I've read two. Yeah, two. They were both by Tony Shylock. All right, and then the last two on that top shelf, I have one of Misu Andrews' short story collections. I can't believe I'm this far behind in her books. I need to read like 3 more, plus a couple of like short stories by her. So we have The Edge of Promise, which was a gift from one of my awesome friends. So yeah, so it has Aaron's Wife, The Shepherd Boy, and Rahab's Sister. That's all the short stories in this collection, which I'm very excited about. And then the last one I have on that bookshelf is The Key to Love by Betsy St. Amant. Still haven't read it. My mom read it actually. So she's actually read it before I have. She really liked the cover and she was in the mood for a romance. So she read that one. I don't know if she really liked it all that much. It's probably like a 3-star to her, but we'll see how I like it. Wish I had the time to read it this February. But yeah, so done with the first shelf, on to the second. So the second shelf is worse than the first. Yeah, I really need to catch up on my signed books. Most of the time it's usually, I have found one of these actually at a store, or no, actually I found like from a Facebook seller or something on Marketplace. But yeah, so I have one of those. I have a few that either authors may have sent me or I got them signed at a book event because I have a few of those, which I just haven't read yet. And because I already read a book by them and then I brought extra for them to sign and I haven't read them yet. So we get a pile and people are going to be mad that I haven't read this duology yet. I already know. Nicole Deese's duology. All of That Really Matters and All That It Takes. And I know people love this series. I just have not gotten to it yet. So don't yell at me, but it will happen. It will happen. I've read one of Nicole Deese's books. No, I've read more than that, haven't I? No, I've read at least 2. I've read at least 2. We'll get these done. I promise. But yeah, so I got these signed by her when I was at the event. Actually, I bought these at the event. So I was like, you know what? Just like have them sign it, have her sign them, and it'll happen. So yeah, so I have those 2. Don't have any room on my lap. And then I have this one, which is signed by the author. The other one is on my other cart. But this is book 2, and I got this one for like really cheap. I don't know if it's any good or not. Let me know. But I also have the first one, which is called The Binding. We'll talk about that later. But I have The Betrayals by Bridget Collins. This is signed by the author, and it has these gorgeous, matching my my feel here with the shirt. But yeah, so this is a signed copy. I only got it for like $3 or something in like perfect condition. So I was like, I grabbed it. And I'm like, yeah, we're keeping it. It's gorgeous and stunning. And I don't even know what the inside looks like. Okay, yeah, that's gorgeous. So yeah, so I will hopefully get this done at some point in my lifetime. Okay, and then I have actually 4 books by Erin Ponytails I haven't read, but one's on my other card, so we'll talk about that later. But I have We Hope for Better Things. I only read 1 book by her, but now I have them all because she sent them to me so nicely. Love her so much. But I have this one. I have The Words Between Us. This is a nice cover. It's not one of those like soft covers. It's more of like a, almost like a corduroy feel to it. But yeah, so I have this one. And then I have, which is another corduroy feeling book. And that is All That We Carried. So those 3 by Erin Ponytails. Then I have a few by Tony Shiloh that I haven't read yet, which is a shock because I do read most of my Tony Shilohs that are on my shelf. I just have not read these yet, but they will happen. I have 3 books in her Maple Run series. I read book 1. And then I have 5 books by Tony Shiloh that I haven't read yet. I haven't read all of her books yet. Yes, I know. Yeah, she's one of my favorite authors, but I have not read everything. But she was actually doing an unhaul on her bookshelf. She had extra copies of her own books, and she was like, does anybody want them? I'm like, hey. Sign them, send them over. So I paid for shipping and she's like, they're all yours. So I was like, yes. So I got the entire Maple Run series. Book 1 is still on the shelf because I've read that one. But I'm currently reading a book 2, which is Finding Love. Book 3 is Enduring Love. And book 4 is Risking Love. So I still need to read these. And then I also have 2 books in her other series. I still need one of the books. Book 1. I need book 1 in this series. It's on my wish list. But have I bought it? No. It is in the Freedom Lake series. So I have a book 2, which is Grace Restored, and book 3, which is Finally Accepted. So I haven't read them, no, but I will someday. Okay, and then the last 2 is I have a Misu Andrews. We already talked about her. I have a Melanie Dickerson book, Cloak of Scarlet, which I have not read yet, but I am planning on reading it this month. It needs to happen. I just need to read it because I love her and I have to read it. Last one is Rachel Fordham's A Lady in Attendance. I think she sent me an extra book plate when I asked for one for her new release. So she kindly sent me one for A Lady in Attendance. So I was able to have that one signed too. Just haven't read it yet. Well, bookshelf 3 was a lot easier. I only have this many books on bookshelf 3, so that's good. So I have 2 books by Rachel Hauck, and she also co-wrote these with one with Mandy Boerma and one with Carrie Paget. So it's Heartspend's series. I don't know if there's going to be more. There's only 2 so far that I know of, but I won both of these from Rachel, so that was amazing. So I have book 1 and book 2, both signed only by Rachel, but that's okay. So I have One Fine Day, and I have You'll Be Mine. So definitely want to read these. I don't know if I'll get them done before I meet her, because I do get to meet Rachel Hauck this year, which I'm so excited. But will I get a chance to read these 2? Probably not, because I want to reread my favorite series by her, so those aren't going to count. No rereads. Rereads do not count in my physical TBR. So those 2. Then I have a book that the author sent me. Actually, this was a giveaway book too, I think. It's called Resurrection Rest, Holiday Hotel Book 3 by Courtney Lyman. So she's very nice, very sweet lady online, and I have not read her books yet, but I do want to start with book 1, so I'll hopefully be able to get that on my Kindle. All right, and then I have, this was in a weird spot, so I was like, why are you there and not with your other books? Because I keep the author books all together, or I try to anyways. And that is The Love Note by Joanna Davidson Politano. I've only read one of her books. I still say she's a favorite, but I really want to read all of her books this year, so we shall see. Okay, and then I have this one, which I won in another giveaway, which was A Shadow in Moscow by Catherine Ray. So I'm pretty much giving you reasons why I haven't read them yet. Why a giveaway book should not be read, I don't know, but but yeah, so same thing with The Italian Ballerina by Christy Cambron. I still have not read this one yet. And then I also got this one too, and I think I have 1 or 2 more books in this series, but it's on my other spot or other area because this one is the only one that's signed, so you're kind of in mixed areas. But I have Nancy Mel's Free Fall, which I do need to read this series because I've heard really good things about it, and I just really need to read this series. So yeah, so that's it for bookshelf number 3. Now on to shelf number 4, and then we'll be done with the signed books. Okay, so Bookshelf 4 is another tricky one because I'm actually double stacked on bookshelf 4. So because I have middle grades back there that technically should be on a cart, but like I don't have room for them, so they're kind of like pushed back there and I need to read them. And like I want to read them, so I probably will put them on my cart because middle grade March is coming up very soon, and maybe I'll read a couple of these. So the first one is Jennifer L. Holmes' The 14th Goldfish. I got a lot of these off of Book Outlet because they were so cheap back then. Nowadays, they're not as cheap as they used to be, so, but they're still a good price. Next one is Mary Underwater by Shannon Daleski. Mostly cover buys, and they're probably like $2 a piece, so. And the other one, actually, I got this one at the dollar store, actually, which is kind of funny. This one is called Otherwise Known as Possum by Maria de Lasso, and I like the cover, so I grabbed it. And then I have The Mighty Miss Malone by Christopher Paul Curtis. I also have Song for a Whale by Lynn Kelly. I have heard amazing things about this, and I still want to read it. There's this, ignore the sticker rip there. Not my fault. Those stickers at a particular store are very sticky. And then I also have This Is Not a Werewolf Story by Sandra Evans. So, intrigued to see if I like it or not. Then I have this one, which kind of intrigued me. The cover did, and it was only like a couple dollars. So it's called The Creature Department by Robert Paul Weston. Really intrigued by the cover, so very excited to try that one. Maybe I should definitely put that on my March TBR. And then I have The Littlest Bigfoot by Jennifer Weiner, and I think this is a duology. I'm pretty sure, so I'll have to see what book 2 is. Okay, on to the, no, I lied. There are a couple more on that shelf that aren't middle grade. Okay, and these are the adult fiction that I have not gotten to on that last bookshelf. Miriam's Song by Jill Eileen Smith. Have not read this one yet. And then I found my Joanna Davidson Politano pile, A Midnight Dance. Then I also have Finding Lady Enderley. And there should be one more. Oh, I think it's on my other pile once again for that one. But let's see. I have Living Lies by Natalie Walters. I did read my very first Natalie Walters. I really enjoyed it. This is book 1 in the Harbored Secrets. So won that in a giveaway. I was like, ooh. All right, and then also Expired Return by Lisa Phillips. Yes, this is book 1 in Last Chance Fire and Rescue, and I think they're by different authors. Don't quote me, but I think they are. And I only have book 1, so if it's good, I might see if I can get the other ones. And then I got 2 more books by another author that I showed you before. They were just in a different pile. Courtney Lyman. I got 2 Christmas books by her. A Groom for Christmas and Maui Christmas. I might have to prioritize these for this year coming up. Okay, let's go to a book cart next. Since that's a little bit easier, I'm just going to roll it over here. No, you cannot see it, but it is like literally right there. You saw a little corner of it peeking. But okay, so this is all of my, that was mainly Christian fiction on there. This is all mainstream fiction. So I have some middle grade, I have adult fiction, I have a couple young adults. So let's just go ahead and see what we have on here. All right, so I have 3 book of the months. No, 4. I lied. No, 5. Well, we're 6. We're not going to put them all together because they're on different shelves and, you know, we're trying to put them all together. Okay, so we have Pull Me Under by Kelly Lucci. Pretty much the cover drew me in and the story, but I still have not read it yet, so. Yeah, still have not read it. Then I have Liberty by Caitlin Greenidge. I think somebody read this and said it was really good, so I do, like, I want to read it. And I have Jane Igaro's The Sweetest Remedy, which again was another cover pick. But the story really intrigued me when I picked it up, so we'll see. Then I have 1 Greek mythology retelling, which I really don't like Greek mythology. I don't like reading about it really, unless like I don't know it's Greek mythology. But I got Susanna Clark's Piranesi. And it's short, and I've heard really amazing things about this book, so we shall see if I enjoy it. It's honestly not really a super Greek mythology. It's definitely more of like fantasy realism a little bit, so I'm really excited to try that one. Then I have a duology, which was pretty much a cover buy, and that is Sky Hunter and Steel Striker by Mary Lou. Come on, can you blame me? These covers are gorgeous. I think I got Steel Striker for like a couple dollars at a thrift store, and then this one I got online and it was on sale, so I was like, can I just buy them both, you know? I mean, this one didn't even look like it was red, so. But like, see, I'm not planning on rereading a lot, but like these definitely, so I'm gonna put them on the physical TBR, so count these. All right, so I have the trilogy, the Han Solo trilogy, because I really want to read them. So yes, these are on my physical TBR, even though I already read them. So book 1 is The Hutt Gambit. These are all by A.C. Crispin. Book 2 is this is book 1. Book 1 is The Paradise Snare. Book 2 is The Hutt Gambit. And book 3 is A Rebel Dawn. So I have all 3 of these ready to read this year because I really want to read them this year. Okay, and then I have a historical fiction duology that I haven't read yet. The first one is called Orphan Monster Spy by Matt Killeen. And I think these are YA, but I'm really intrigued to try them out and see how they are. That one's the first one. And then the next one is called Devil Darling Spy. So yeah, so we'll see if I like book 1 or book 2 or both. So yeah, I wish the covers matched though. I feel like these are like completely different stories. What do you think? I don't know, I'm just saying, even the spines are like almost completely different. So like they don't really match. They kind of do like if you go with like the black and the red theme, but other than that, they really don't match. So it's like they look like completely different books. That's why I did not think they were a duology. Then I have Yellow Wife by Sadiqa, I can't pronounce her name. Sadiqa Johnson. And one of my friends really enjoyed this one, so I really wanted to give it a try. So yeah, so I have Yellow Wife. Okay, next pile. I have a middle grade duology. I have The Very, Very Far North by Dan Burrell and the sequel, which is called Just Beyond the Very, Very Far North. Those are long titles, but they're really pretty, and the stars are sparkly. Those are pretty. Then I have one more book of the month, which I actually think I'm planning on moving around because it is quite big for the bottom or the middle shelf. So let's put that up at the top and put a smaller book down there because they're hard to get out. So, all right, that's a little bit better. I'm just gonna leave those out so it's easier to grab. All right, then I have this one, which I've been wanting to read for years, have not picked it up yet. And it is Girl in the Blue Coat by Monica Hesse. I have heard really good things about this book. I don't know if it's YA. Oh, it is YA. Winner of the Edgar Award for Best YA Mystery. So I know it's World War II fiction, and I'm just really excited to get to it. So you really need to pick that one up. And then I have one nonfiction. Who am I? I don't read nonfiction that much. I have The Zookeeper's Wife, a war story by Diane Ackerman, and this is a nonfiction. It is a major motion picture, and I loved the movie. Never read the book, but it had me really intrigued. And if you love animals, be prepared. Just be prepared. But yeah, so during World War II in, I believe it's Warsaw, Poland, I think. It doesn't say what city, but I'm pretty sure it is. But yeah, so I do want to read this at some point. I'm just worried I'm not going to enjoy it as much as the movie. Because the movie definitely wrecked me, and I'm like, is it going to be as moving as the movie? I hope it is. Then I have 2 books by Ruta Sepetys that I haven't read yet. And actually, I did lie. I said I've never read a book by her. I actually have. I have read her newest release, the one that came out like last year or the year before. I can't remember what it was called right now. It was the one that was set in Russia, and I can't remember what it's called right now. But I did read that one. So I must betray you. You must betray me. Something like that. I read that one. So I have read a book by her. So the first one that I have is Salt to the Sea. So I have not read this one yet. Love the cover. And then I also have Ashes in the Snow, which I believe is, yes, it's previously published as Between Shades of Grey, which I really wish I had the original titled work. I think this is the movie picture, I think. But I have read the graphic novel and really liked it, so I really want to read the actual full-length novel. So don't remember what it was about too much, but thankfully, because I'd like to get into it without knowing too much. Okay, and then I have this one, which is called The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. I think that's interesting handwriting. But this is supposedly a thriller, but like it's not really too much of a thriller. But yeah, so yeah, I have heard really good things about this book, so we'll see if I like it. Okay, and here is that first book to that book that was signed over there, The Binding by Bridget Collins, but this one is not signed, so yeah. And actually, this was an advanced reader's copy. I think I got it for Goodreads. This might have been actually one of my very first Goodreads wins I think I ever won. And I used to win a lot back then, but I didn't read a lot of them. So yeah, that was a problem. But yeah, so I do still have it on my bookshelf because I do still want to read it. Just haven't yet. Okay, so the last 3 I had on that one shelf is Girl A by Abigail Dean. Not sure if I want to keep this or not. I don't know. It definitely sounds more like maybe a domestic drama, psychological family story. So those are iffy for me, but I just don't want to try it. So we shall give it a go. All right, and then the last one, no, last two. Okay, all of a sudden I've like run out of room here. What happened? I had room, and now I don't have room. Hey, what are you doing there? You're supposed to be over there. Oh, well. I try to keep my stuff organized, and I was like, that's not supposed to be over there. What are you doing there? Okay. Anyways, so I have The Yellow Bird Sings by Jennifer Rosner. I got this for a few dollars. I've heard mixed feelings about it. Like, it's not, like, the premise was good, but, like, I felt like people thought it was too, I don't know if it was too slow or didn't really go deeply into, like, the World War II setting. So, we'll see if I like it. We'll see. It was a cover buy, so that's why I got it. And then the last one on that shelf is The Magnolia Palace by Fiona Davis. Still haven't read anything by her. My friend really likes her work, so yes, I was intrigued because I did hear, you know, bookish, you know, I mean, I think is she a librarian or something? I might be wrong with that. But it's Gilded Age Mansions, and you do know I love the Gilded Age, so yeah, very, very exciting. So yeah, so I think I got this in like a book swap or something online. I was like, yeah, I'll swap you for whatever I had. I was like, fine with me. So at the bottom, I have a couple of books by Gail Carson Levine. So I have Stolen Magic, and I also have A Tale of Two Castles. So I do own all of her books, I think, except for two. I had one, but it was in such bad condition that I was like, I'm just going to get rid of it and try to get another copy. I hope that wasn't a mistake, because that might be kind of hard to find, that one. I can actually tell you which one it is. I have volume 2 of The Princess Tales, and I need volume 1 again. So if anybody comes across a very, very nice new copy of it, I'd really appreciate that. All right. I'm probably going to keep these on my lap because I do have more to go through down there. So I found another Gail Carson Levine book. This is Fairest. So that's another book that I haven't read yet by her. I have this YA book, which I've been looking so forward to, but I still haven't read it yet. It's called Crown of Oblivion by Julie Eschbau, and it definitely gives me feelings of the Hunger Games, for sure. So we'll just see if I like it or not. So yeah, so I have that one. Oops, sorry about the glare. Okay, and then I have, is this book 1? I think so. This is book 1, Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I really love the Lunar Chronicles, so I wanted to read another series by her, but I only have book 1, so I'll have to try to find book 2 at the library, online or whatever, but I've heard good things about this series too. I think the next one's like Arch Enemies or something like that, or Arch Nemesis. But yes, so really intrigued to try another sci-fi series by her. I think this is the first book. Everland by Wendy Spinell. The covers drew me in, and again, they were really cheap. And then the next one is Umberland. So I don't know, are they good? Are they just okay? I don't know. I might have to try to like squeeze these into like a summer TBR or something like that. Okay, I found another middle grade book that I had, and this is Level 13 by Gordon Corman. So I am slowly collecting his books. I want to own them all because they're really good. And yeah, so I think Slacker might be the first book in this series, not sure, but I only have Level 13. So okay, and then I bought this YA book. Who knows why I have not read this book, because like the premise sounds amazing. I think this is like a time travel book or something like that. I can't remember, but it's called The Invention of Sophie Carter by Samantha Hastings. Again, I got this one really cheap, and like I wanted to read it. Again, I still haven't, so yeah, but maybe someday we'll prioritize these at some point. Okay, and then I have a sequel to a book which I did not realize was actually the sequel. I think the first one is called The Skylark's War, and then I also have The Swallow's Flight by Hilary McKay. And I actually got this when Barnes & Noble was having like their half off hardcovers like years ago when they first started. So my mom actually picked this one out for me, I think, and so I grabbed it, and I did not realize it was book 2, so I don't have book 1. That's okay, it happens. I got this one by a friend of mine. It's called Spindle Fire. So this is another fairy tale retelling that I have. If I had the time, I'd put all these on my list for this month. But it's, yeah, Spindle Fire by Lexa, or yeah, probably Lexa Hillier. But it is a, as you can tell, it is a whatever it's called, Sleeping Beauty retelling. Wow, I couldn't think. But yeah, so this wasn't on my wish list or anything. I didn't even know about it, but somebody sent it to me and I was like, oh, okay, sure. So hopefully I enjoy it. Okay, and then let's see what else we have. I have one Amy Harmon book on my shelves, and that is What the Wind Knows by Amy Harmon. And I've heard nothing but good things about her books. Some of my friends have really enjoyed her, so I need to pick one up. I really do. I feel like I'm going to really enjoy them. So yeah, so I have that one. I have a middle grade book. Quite a few of these I ended up getting on a book trip that I went with my family. I think, wow, 2 years ago now. Yeah, 2 years ago, I think. And I ended up picking this one up. And it was like this huge warehouse in Virginia. It was huge. I think it's in Greensboro. I think so. Don't quote me. But it's huge. And the books were an excellent price. They were like $3 a piece, $4 a piece. I was like, I'm not passing up. It's not like I bought like 20 books when I was there. I even went back twice. My dad was like, you want to go back? I'm like, you, Dad? You want to go back? Okay. So yeah, so we went back twice. Anyway, so yeah, Genesis Begins Again. I remember specifically buying this one there by Alicia D. Williams. I think it was a cover buy again. This one I think was more the more expensive ones. It was like $5 or $6. But I was like, you know what, I'm going to grab it. So, okay. And then I have this one, which is Kristen Harmel's The Forest of Vanishing Stars. I read one other book by her. Really loved it. There was a small love scene in it, but it was like a paragraph, so it was easily skippable, and there was like nothing else in the book. I was like, why did you need that? You didn't need that either. But I really wanted to try another one of her books, so I grabbed this one. Actually, this was in a little free library. Brand new. I mean, this is like brand new. I was like, okay, I'm grabbing it. I think actually I found this at a little free library like a week after it came out or something like that. It was crazy. Okay, and then I have Mary Poppins, which I have read book 1, so that's technically not on my TBR. That's the first one. So I have Mary Poppins Opens the Door. I don't know which ones are in order, so forgive that. Mary Poppins in the Park, and then Mary Poppins Comes Back. And I love these editions of them. They are gorgeous. I love them. Had to have them. So very happy that I have all the first 4 books. I don't know how many books are in this series. There's like 5 or 6. But I think those are the only ones that come in that edition. Okay, and then we're down to more middle grades now, which I can finally put back down there together. Okay, so I have The Length of a String, which was, again, another book that I got at that giant bookstore by Elisa Brent Wiseman. And I know my friend absolutely loved this book, so when I saw it at the bookstore, I probably wouldn't have grabbed it because the cover didn't draw me in, but my friend, like, absolutely raved about it, and I was like, okay, I need to pick that one up, so I did. Okay, and then I got Daughter of the White Rose by Diane Zayler. Actually, I remembered I did read another book by her and actually really enjoyed it. It was a very eerie, creepy middle grade, but I actually really liked it. It was very, very interesting. Kind of like it wasn't a retelling. Actually, it might have been. It was just so good. I can't remember what it was called right now, but I might have to look that one up and see if I want to reread it again. But yeah, so I got this one, which is still on my 5-star prediction that I did last summer. So no, I have not done a catching up of that. You know what I might do actually, because I've just have never finished that TBR because I have not finished like 2 books on that TBR for my 5-star prediction. I might just forget about it and start over again. Okay, so that's it for my my 1 book cart. Okay, let's go to the next one. Told you this video was going to be long. It's going to be even longer editing, that's all I know. Okay, now we're going to go to this cart, which you can actually see a little bit when I had it. Okay, so there's the cart. All right, so yeah, let's just go because I think all of these are books that I've not read. So, okay. Melanie Dobson. I still have not read any of her books. I think I have like 3 of them on here. So, Melanie Dobson, The Wings of Poppy Pendleton. Actually just got this one in a giveaway, so that was nice. Christmas in the Crosshairs by Lynette Eason, Kate Angelo, Kelly Underwood, and Sammy A. Abrams. And I have read Kelly Underwood's story, I believe. I have not read the rest. So, and from what I'm remembering, I did like it quite a bit. But I think this one's going to wait until next Christmas to finish. The Master Craftsman by Kelly Stewart. This has been on my most anticipated, but have I read it? No. Things We Didn't Say by Amy Lynn Green. I've heard nothing but good things, so I need to read that one. We all know these 2 are on the list. Mountain Laurel and Shiloh by Lori Benton. No, they're not read yet, but they are on my priority list for 2024, so I am prioritizing. I have the second book in the Children of the Consortium series by Kathy McCrum, Aberration. That's the only one I have of that series. Because it was on sale. It was like $5. I'm like, grab it. It's brand new. Why not? The Girl from the Papers by Jennifer L. Wright. This is going to be harder to stack. Let's do it that way. Maybe. Okay. I have a duology by Morgan L. Bussey, the Skyworld series. Book 1 is Secrets in the Mist, and book 2 is Blood Secrets. Still have not read this series, but plan to. Here is the other Aaron Bartels book that I was trying to find. Oh, Amazon just stopped by. I'm expecting something, so it's probably him. The Girl Who Could Breathe Underwater by Aaron Bartels. This is a reread, but I'm putting it on here, so count that as one. And that is One Night Enchanted by Claire Delacroix. Really want to read that one, so that's on my physical TBR. And here's the last book by Joanna Davidson Politano that I haven't read yet, which is Lady Jane Disappears. So can't wait to read that one. Okay, and then I just got these two in a recent book haul. Actually, these 4. So ignore these because you might see them again in a future video. I just didn't have enough for a book haul. I didn't think, so I'm going to wait a little bit. So I have book 2 in the Tree of Life series by Olivia Newport called In the Cradle Lies. I have The Dating Charade by Melissa Ferguson. Really love the cover. And this was only like $1 or $2 on Christian books. I was like, bye. Why not? Okay, and then I have Vow of Justice, part of the Blue Justice series by Lynette Eason, book 4. So I have none of the other books. So yeah, that's always smart, but it came in a mystery box. So oops, shouldn't have said that because that's a spoiler, but yeah, I got a mystery box from them. All right, and then I have After She Falls by Carmen Shobor. I read her other book, and this one intrigues me more because it has to do with, I think, boxing or something. A woman, professional mixed martial artist. So that always intrigued me, and I know the author does that, so I really want to check it out and see if I like it. Okay, that was it for bookshelf number 1. Okay, so another giant pile here. Okay, so I have the 3 books in the Carolina Coast series by T.I. Lowe. They're in this cute pocket editions. I don't know which ones are in order or not, but we have Sea Glass Castle, Beach Haven, and Driftwood Dreams. And I basically got it for this one because I used to be a huge sea glass collector, and so I had to have those. And books are falling. Don't fall, please. I'm trying to stay organized. There we go. Okay. Oh, here's my Melanie Dobson collection. I should probably keep those together. So let's move that one down. Because why not keep the Melanie Dobson books together? I have 2 other ones, which I still haven't read. The Courageous Daughter by Melanie Dobson. And I also have The Winter Rose, which I forgot I got this. I think I got this at Baker Bookhouse when I was there last year. And it was so cheap. It was like $5. I'm like, I'm grabbing it. So yeah, bought that one. All right, and then I still don't know why I haven't read this one because I really wanted to read it. I didn't get a copy to review, and I think that's why I kept pushing it off. I'm like, oh, I didn't get a copy, and then I'm like, oh, do I want to read it now? Do I want to read it later? And that is The Weight of Air by Kimberly Duffy. Yeah, so I still have not read that one. Man, I've been filming for an hour. Don't worry, it's not that long, folks. I'm gonna have to cut out a lot. Next, I have A Mosaic of Wings by Kimberly Duffy. Unmasked by Kelsey Chapman. Still need to read that one. Bailey Mackenzie Crime Scene Specialist by Tina R. Young. I have 2 books in this series by Sarah Ella. One is Unbreakable and one is Unblemished. And I don't have whatever book comes in there. It's on my wish list somewhere. I just haven't gotten it yet. Probably should, because I like to complete series, you know. Although I'm like always afraid, like if I don't like it, why should I buy the one that I didn't grab, you know? So, but who knows? I might really enjoy it. Okay, then I have this one, which I never heard of. This is The Untold Story of Samson and Delilah. It's called Desired by Ginger Garrett. And it is a Christian fiction, I believe, because I think David C. Cook is a Christian company. And so, but I've never heard of this series before, or not series, but this book. And I'm like, sounds intriguing. So I think this was another one that I got at a little free library or someplace. I was like, yeah, why not? That's a heavy book, I just realized. Okay, then I have A Night Bird Calling by Kathy Gokul. I'm still currently reading one of her books. Haven't finished it yet, but it'll get done. Okay, and then I also have, let's see, In the Shelter of Hollythorn House by Sarah A. Ladd. Have not read any of her books, but I've heard really good things. And The Cart is Moving by Itself. if you notice that. Okay. Here we go again. Okay, so I have one book by Joel C. Rosenberg. I have The Third Target, which I think is actually the first book, so that's good. So I got it for a really great price, and it is a chunker. It's like 500 pages. So, but yeah, but I mean, it's because it's small. I mean, if it was like a regular size book, it would probably be like 300 pages, but maybe 400. But yeah, so I am excited to try it out and see if I like his work. Okay, I have one book by Kim Vogel-Sawyer, The Tapestry of Grace, that I have not read yet. Count the Nights by Stars by Michelle Shockley. I've heard good things about it, but I haven't read it yet. I have a short story collection, 3 Tales of 19th Century Romance with a Dash of Mystery, Ladies of Intrigue by Michelle Griep. Something Worth Doing by Jane Kirkpatrick. Can't talk. I have the sequel to Collusion of Lies, because I've read book 1, have not read book 2 yet. This one's Network of Deceit by Tom Threadgill. I have this one, which I got for free when I was at Baker Book House. This is Circle of Vengeance by Ramona Richards. Have not read it yet. My mom actually got it in her book bag, and I was like, do you want that one? Because, like, the cover intrigued me. And she was like, you can have it. I was like, yes. Because it sounded so good. Then I have Rosanna M. White, Yesterday's Tides. They actually had some extra arcs at a table, and she was like, you can grab one that you want off there. And so this is one that I grabbed because yeah, I really wanted it, and I was like, yeah, sure. I haven't read it, so still need to read that one. Next is Wooing. Wow, can we talk today? Probably not. Wooing Katie McCaffrey by Bethany Turner. Okay, and then I have The Trader's Pawn by Lisa Harris. Not sure what series this is a part of, but I have that one. I'm not great at finishing series buying or reading, but I'm trying better. I just have some weird series where I'm like, why do I only own book 1 or book 2 and 3 or something? Okay, and then I have this romantic suspense collection. It's Dee Henderson, Danny Petrie, and Lynette Easton in The Cost of Betrayal, and this cover intrigues me, so excited for that one. Slender Reads, which is Jochebed's Hope by Texie Susan Gregory. So really interesting. I don't know. I guess it is about Jochebed, but yeah, so I don't know if I've ever seen a biblical fiction on her. So interesting. Then I have 2 more books of, I thought I had 2 more or 1 more. Maybe I didn't. But I have book 2 in the Jerusalem Road series by Angela Hunt, which is The Shepherd's Wife. I also have book 4, I think, but I don't have book 1 and 3. I did read book 4. Just thankfully they don't have to be read in order. They don't really have to be, so that's good. Then I have another book by Angela Hunt called King's Shadow. This cover, whoever the model is, she's like so pretty. I'm just saying, like, hey, we match too. But yeah, so really just, she's gorgeous, and that's probably why I grabbed it. 'Cause I'm like, I really love the cover model. Okay, and then I thought for some reason I read this one, but I guess not. And that is Engraved on the Heart by Tara Johnson. Guess I haven't read it, so it's on the list. I don't know why I thought I read this one. I don't know. I still feel like I've read it. But like the cover's familiar, but maybe because I've just seen it so often. And then this one, I don't know why I haven't read. It's my favorite era. I read her book I read one of her books before and I loved it. So I have no excuse why I haven't read it. And that is Codename Edelweiss by Stephanie Lanza. 1920s, spies, detectives, all of that. Don't know why I haven't read it yet. Oh well. I have Within These Walls of Sorrow by Amanda Barrett. This is getting read this year. I have a feeling this is gonna be another 6-star read from her. It's amazing. Her last book I read by her, so good. Oh look, another Melanie Dobson book. Catching the Wind. So I have that one too, and I've heard good things about that one as well. I have The Ringmaster's Secret, or Ringmaster's Wife by Christy Cameron. Oh, I have more than one book by her. Didn't think I did. There we go. And then I have The Orchard House by Heidi Chiavarelli. So that's another one that I have. I have All Through the Night by Tara Johnson. So I've heard mixed reviews about this one, but I mean the premise, I think it happens like around Jack the Ripper time. So that intrigued me. I don't know. We'll see. Then we have another book in that, whatever series this is. Oh, The Chronicle Files, Book 2, Deadfall. So we have that one too. And then I have a book by Vanessa Miller called What We Found in Hallelujah. This was a gift from one of my subscribers. You all are so awesome. And then I have an advanced reader's copy of Mortal Queens by Victoria McComb. So very excited. I love the cover. So yeah, so it is it's a pretty readable arc. A lot of the time, especially because it's on that white paper, I have problems reading it, but it is bigger font, so that's good. So I have When I Close My Eyes by Elizabeth Musser. Where the Blue Sky Begins by Katie Powner. I've heard good things about Katie, I just haven't read it. Why shouldn't I? Because she shares a name with me. I feel like that should be a given. I should read hers. All That Is Secret by Patricia Raybon. I think this is book 2 in the series, I think. Don't quote me, it could be book 1 though. And then The Atonement Child by Francine Rivers. Have not read that one yet either. I have one Lynn Austen book on my cart, which is If I Were You. No, I have not read it yet. And then I have 2 more books by Francine Rivers I haven't read. A Lineage of Grace. This is 5 books, I think. Yeah, 5 stories of women in the Bible. So I know I have not read this. I could be mistaken, though. I could have read these books, either this series or the one where she writes about the men in the Bible, like way back. I'm talking like high school, middle school maybe. I feel like I read some of them, but it's been so long that I forgot. They're not on Goodreads because I didn't have Goodreads back then, so who knows? Who knows if I read them. Okay, and then I have The Masterpiece, which again I think I got in a little free library, just sitting there, and it was pretty much brand new. So yeah, I think I started it. Yeah, I did start it, but I don't know how far I got. So yeah, that's on the list. Oh look, we found more middle grade. More middle grade. So yeah, I got at least like 10 more to go for middle grade. Okay, here we go. Okay, The Memory of Forgotten Things by Kat Zhang. I have read one other book by her. It was okay. So I'll see if I like this one or not. Maybe I'll just put that on my middle grade TBR to see how I like it. How High the Moon by Karen Pearsons. Again, most of these either book outlet, mostly. I don't know. This one is Of a Feather by Dana Lawrence. The Boy, the Boat, and the Beast by Samantha M. Clark. I like those kind of like creepy feeling middle grades. As long as they don't go too far, I really like them. The Elephant Girl by James Patterson, Ellen Bandaaku, and Sophia Cravoy. So really intrigued me, and this one, like the cover art is gorgeous. And this one was on sale. It was in the clearance aisle at the bookstore, so I was like, buying. And then I have When Life Gives You Mangoes by Corinne Getton. I have Amal Unbound by Aisha Saeed. There's a sequel too, but I don't have that one. Fly Girl by Sherry L. Smith. I think this could be YA. I'm not sure. Yeah, it could be YA. I have 2 books by Vera Haran Andani. The Night Diary. And I also have How to Find What You're Not Looking For by Vera. And I've read one or two of her other books and really enjoyed them. So glad I picked those up. Fish in a Tree by Linda Mullally Hunt. And then I also have Shouting at the Rain by the same author. Okay, so that's it for the book carts. Now we're going to go to this shelf, which is mostly read. Mostly. Not all, but mostly. Okay, so I have Garden of the Midnights by Hannah Linder. Gorgeous cover. Love it. Can't believe I haven't read this yet because that was on a most anticipated. I have A New Leash on Life, which is book 6 of the Gone to the Dogs mysteries. I am on book 2. So yeah, there's good catching up to do in that series, but enjoyed and loved book 1. And then I have a bunch of books by my favorite middle grade author, Joan Bauer. I have read a few, but I still have a lot that I want to read. So these are all ones that I haven't read yet. I have Raising a Lumi, Squashed, which I did start, but I never finished last fall, Sticks, Stand Tall, and Almost Home. So those are the ones that I haven't read by her yet. Okay, we're down to one more row, and that's this row, because I have books that I'm saving to take with me on my book trip later on this year. So I kind of put them all together. So yeah, so these should get read before that trip, but let's see what we haven't read yet. Okay, so this isn't all of them, but as much as I could put in my lap right now. All right, so I have book 1 of A Breed Apart Legacy. The first one is Havoc by Ronnie Kendig. These are all by different authors, and I only have book 1 so far, but I'm excited to see if I'm going to like it. I have a duology. The first one is called The Beautiful Ashes of Gomez Gomez, and then the second one is called The Sound the Sun Makes by Buck Storm. So I got these two. Shaped by the Waves by Christina Suzanne Nelson. There should be another book by her. Yeah, it's at the bottom of the pile. Stories That Bind Us by Susie Finkbeiner. Say I Do by Rachel Houck, Becky Wade, and Katie Ganshert. This is like a short story collection of I do romances. And then I have 4 Jamie Jo Wright books that I have never read. That's not bad. That's not bad. I've read all of her other books, so really not that bad. I have The Haunting at Bonaventure Circus, The House on Foster Hill. My dad has actually read that one. That's the only one he's read of hers, though. The Reckoning of Gossamer Pond, and Echoes Among the Stones, which I have heard amazing things about, so this might be the next one I read. And then I have Of Love and Treason by Jamie Ogle. This is either just released or soon will be released. I can't remember, but I do have a copy of it, so I need to read this. And What Happens Next by Christina Suzanne Nelson. And these are the last books I'm going to put on this list because these ones are ones that I'm planning on rereading. So they're going to go on this list too. And that is the Royal Wedding series by Rachel Houck. So we have Once Upon a Prince, Princess Ever After, How to Catch a Prince, and then the last one is A Royal Christmas Wedding, which this is the only one that I haven't read. I've read the other ones. I never read the Christmas novella. So I want to reread these and probably will read a Christmas book at some point in April or May. So yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to bring you downstairs and into my bedroom to show you a couple other books that I have on my physical TBR. But I mean, I'm going to say my physical TBR is probably like I've read half the books I own. So I mean, it's not terrible. It's not terrible, no. If you want to know the honest truth, like right before I started my booktube channel 3 years ago, I literally, no, it hasn't even been 2.5 years yet. Forgive me, it hasn't been that long. But before I started booktube, my TBR was very bad. I probably read like 5% of my physical TBR. I'm not gonna lie, it was bad. But yeah, so it's way better now. I'm doing good. So I mean, I'd love to read more. Maybe next year we can do that. Probably, I don't know, at least for the next few months, probably not. Although no, I will be reading quite a few from this stack. So yeah, so I will be reading quite a few more off my bookshelf, so that'll be nice. Okay, so I'll bring you through the rest of the house, and then I'll be back to finish up this. I was gonna say a vlog. It's not a vlog. Finishing up this whatever you call it. Just sharing how many books that I want to read that are on my shelves. Okay, so here's my little corner bookshelf in my room. The only one I have not read on here is Anison's Risk by Paul McCusker. So that's the only one, and I only have book 3, so yeah. Okay, so I have this bookshelf that's behind a lot of my trinkets. I have Alice in Wonderland, which I have not read yet. I don't think I've ever finished that series by Valentino, which is The Beast Within, Mistress of All Evil, and Fairest of All. So I might read those. As Old as Time by Liz Breswell, never finished. I think I've read Red's Untold Tale, so I kept that. Peter Pan, I've never read the full one, so yeah. And The Adventures of Pinocchio, have not read that. And I have not read The Scarlet Letter, so that one might be one that I'm getting rid of. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Okay, so I'm downstairs and going through books that I actually have downstairs as well and now. So the first one is The Cowboy's Secret Past by Tina Radcliffe, another love-inspired book that I have not read yet. But I'd like to take the summer and read like a bunch of these. I feel like they're good summer books. Then I have Liz Tolsma's new book, What I Promise You, from the Echoes of the Past series. This will actually be my first one in the series. I understand they're standalones, so that's good. I have Amanda Wen's newest release, The Rhythm of Fractured Grace. Still haven't read, but I am really looking forward to it. Okay, so what's on that extra pile here? I have The Reluctant Rival, Leia story by Misu Andrews, which is a book by Guidepost. I also have Beauty's Surrender by Misu Andrews, which is Sarah's story. I also have The Mercy Tree by Charlene McLaren. This is, I'm currently reading, but I stopped it when I got sick and I have to pick it back up again. I also have Somewhere in Tennessee by my friend Christina Wade. Have not read it yet, but really need to read it. Sorry about the mess over there. It's just a bunch of washi tape I haven't organized. All right, and then The Call of the Sea by Sean and Bessie. I've been in the middle of this book since last year, so I need to finish it. Loyally Luke by Paperbacks. The Divine Proverb of Streusel by Sarah Brunswick. Okay, everyone, so that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you kept track. I will put the number right here. Hopefully I'm right too, because I am going to be counting as I'm editing. I did not count beforehand, and you know what? That's okay. It's going to take us a long time to count, but that's okay. It'll be fun. Hopefully. For me anyways. All right, so I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope you just had a lot of fun with this video. I mean, I know a few of you have asked for this video, so here you go. Here's my entire physical TBR. So yeah, please do not ask for my complete Kindle TBR. No, you will not be getting that. No, there is over 7,000 books on my Kindle. There is no way that's happening. Sorry. It's just not happening. If you want a a want to read first on my Kindle, I would be okay with that. So let me know about that. That still might be hard, but anyway, so I think this was just a fun video to get filmed. Now I have to edit an hour-and-a-half video. That's very rare, but it was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Please stick around and subscribe if you haven't to my channel yet, and I will see you all in the next video.